Marbella with Him and Her are proud to be sponsored by the friendliest bar in San Pedro, the Hogan Stand. The place for amazing food, live music and sport, karaoke, quizzes, and a welcoming smile. Why would you want to go anywhere else? Check out their Instagram page at the Hogan Stand and at the Hogan Hackers for their Golf Society.
This podcast may contain adult themes and strong language. Hello and welcome to Marbella with Him and Her, brought to you by the Hogan Stand. He is
PJ Lopez and she is
Hannah Murray.
Look at us with our new mics.
I know, we're doing this, well, not wearing much clothes to be honest, in bed.
Yes, it's in bed with Hannah and PJ.
Yeah,
no, don't let that put you off.
I feel like Paula Yates, but the alive version.
So does that make me the guy from In Excess?
Yeah, you're Michael Hutchence.
I thought so. People will stop me in the street a lot and say, "Are you Michael Hutchence?"
I've always thought who you remind me of. Michael Hutchence. Check us out.
Yeah, she's lying. Okay. I'm nothing like Michael Hutchence. I'll tell you who is. Harry
Styles. Yeah, you said that. So anyway, yes, we've got two little fluffy mics, and instead of us in our spare room, which gets really hot in the summer, we're in our main room, which also gets hot. We were going to try it with the aircon on, but I reckon there was a bit of a buzz. So aside from our normal bit of a buzz, we thought we would do it without the aircon.
So I'm in our bedroom with a little hairy thing in my hand.
That's the cat.
No, that's my microphone.
Okay. So I want to start with a massive apology that I'm going to totally blame on perimenopause and various other hormonal...
You said it this week. I normally say that.
Yeah, well, no, I'm totally doing it. I was absolutely mortified when I listened back to last week's podcast because I was paying tribute to the late Martin Joseph, who's an amazing Frank Sinatra tribute on the Costa del Sol, who sadly died last week. And when I listened back, I called him Michael Joseph, and then I called him Martin Joseph, then I called him Michael again. It was all over the place. I didn't pick up on it clearly when I was saying it. You didn't either, which again proves you don't really listen to me.
I trust you, that's why.
It's got nothing to do with trust. I kept changing his name when I was paying tribute to him.
Well, I didn't pick up on that.
No, really bad. So I'm so sorry to Martin and his wife and all his friends and family. His name is, or his name is, however you prefer to talk about him in such a way. Martin Joseph, the late Martin Joseph. R.I.P.
So, Lisa, what we've got on the agenda today?
Well, one of the big moments of last week that we spoke about was Leonardo DiCaprio and this whole meme going round of him allegedly being in Marbella with everyone creating funny pictures. You did one for the Hogan Stand. How many hits has it had now? It was ridiculous how much it's
now
gone
had
up.
over 100,000 views.
That's insane.
I think it's had over 400 or 500 likes. I mean, it's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's so cool. But we didn't realise, we then found out after we'd recorded last week's pod, that Leonardo DiCaprio was actually in Marbella. This all started because we weren't sure last week how it all came about. There was a photograph of two of the guys who I presume own or run Playa Padre with Leonardo DiCaprio. He was in the middle of them and they all kind of had their arms around each other and they said, oh, great to host Leo at Playa Padre or something like that. And that's obviously where it started. And so loads of other people said, oh, great to have Leonardo here at whatever. But he was actually apparently at Playa Padre, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I think what happened was people didn't realise and they just thought it was an AI image. So they started replicating the AI image.
I love it. See, this is the thing with AI. It's funny, but it's also quite scary in that you've no idea what's true or not because some of them looked really realistic.
So actually, and I'm not going to remember his name and I'm not going to remember the company he works for, but one of the leaders in AI technology, it's the company that owns Claude.
Yeah.
Started out, I think he's actually English or British or something, I'm not sure. He said this week that we need to put the brakes on AI. And he's one of the founders and developers of it. But he said we're at a stage now where AI is going to take over its own decisions away from humans. So that's quite scary.
Yeah.
So he's saying we need to put the brakes on.
And that's from one of the people who've been accelerating the whole process.
Yep.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Well, this is what a lot of people were worried about right at the start, you know, where it can go and that it could take over.
We will see. All those films, those sci-fi films you've watched in the past where a computer takes over the world, it seems a bit reality now.
Well, yeah, imagine if you're listening to this podcast and you don't actually know whether it's PJ and I doing it or two AI people who've copied our voice. We might be just in bed asleep or like away at a beach club somewhere and we've just typed something into the computer and asked AI to do it for us.
That's not a bad idea.
Great
actually,
idea, isn't it? Let's see if we can do that for next week. Oh dear. I also wanted to mention, last week we talked about, obviously I'd been away in Seville and PJ had a bit of a dinner party with people from his work, and one of his colleagues, Issa, made a delicious apple crumble, and you saved some for me, which was really kind, and it was delicious. Thank you, Issa. But you did say that you'd eaten all the vanilla ice cream, which was a bit crap. So instead you whipped up a creme anglaise for me.
Yes, and I did it a little bit too fast. When you make a creme anglaise, you can't boil the milk. You've got to get it just before it boils. Then you take it off the heat. Then you stir in the egg yolk. And I let it boil, so I thought, oh, I'll get away with this. And it didn't.
Let it boil, let it boil. Sorry.
Do you have to sing it everything?
Sorry.
And then it split, basically. But I had watched a programme on TV that morning, the Saturday Kitchen on rerun, because I like that. It's one of my favourite things. And she was actually making creme anglaise. And she said, don't worry, if it splits, just put it in a blender. It's fine. So I did, and it was fine.
Oh, brilliant. How funny that you saw it that morning.
Yeah, really, really weird. I also noticed that you said that Issa made a beautiful apple crumble. You didn't actually refer at all to the actual portion of food that I made that I kept you. That's charming, that is.
Oh, that was awesome. Well, it's only because I wanted to compliment you on your creme anglaise, darling.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes, you saved me a portion of the boeuf bourguignon with mustard mash.
Oh, Dijon mash.
That was really nice.
Dijon mash. That's really good.
It was lovely. Thank you. It was really, really delicious. And we've just seen Dad and Sheila, who have got back from their cruise, and they said they had a boeuf bourguignon one of the nights and said straight away, oh, it's not as good as PJ's.
Well, no, I wouldn't expect it to be.
The beef was really chewy, apparently, and yours isn't.
Talking of mustard, I think there's this big thing going on in Morrison's about mustard. So I went down to Gibraltar on Friday for a meeting with a client. Every time we go to Gibraltar, we pop into Morrison's. And they had Coleman's mustard and honey cashew nuts. And oh my God, like it's like, you know, when you eat mustard and it goes through your nose, it's that hot.
It's a bit much for me, Coleman's mustard, that English mustard.
It had the same effect as Dijon does.
But it's gorgeous, but with
wasabi.
the honey as well. That's you got the hit of the mustard and then the honey, the sweetness, they were really good.
And we've got crisps with honey and mustard as well.
On a bit of a honey and mustard kick.
Well, it wasn't me, it was Morrison's, and it felt rude not to get it.
Okay, fair enough. With all these snacks, which I'm trying not to do, but you keep buying them, I've had quite a good fitness week this week. I did Pilates twice on Monday and Friday, and I have to say, I'm finding it slightly easier. I'm not saying it's remotely easy. It's still really difficult, but my body is obviously adapting and getting used to it, that I'm not dying as I am sweating. I seem to be the only one that sweats in Pilates, which is probably an age thing. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. So 2 Pilates classes this week. And on Tuesday, I really wanted to do body pump for the first time in years. We did body pump leading up to our wedding, which was like 9 years ago. And I don't think I've done it since.
That's when I was a mean, lean machine.
Yes, dear. You still are. So Tuesday is normally when I do body combat, which I actually haven't done for quite a few weeks for various reasons. So I did both. I did body pump followed by body combat.
That's just stupid.
Wow, it felt great until the afternoon kicked in and I was really struggling to not fall asleep during my radio show.
That's because you were
suddenly
exhausted.
got so tired.
Yeah, well, you've got to take exercise in your stride. You can't just go mad and then not do anything and then mad.
I'm doing it again this Tuesday.
Then you have no sympathy from me.
But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good with it. And that's what I want. That's the plan. I'm trying to,
Summer fit.
Exactly. Summer body, beach body, all of that crap. We watched an amazing programme earlier this week. I think there's only 4 episodes, maybe 6. Dear England, it's called.
Brilliant.
It was absolutely brilliant. The casting was incredible. So it was all about Gareth Southgate as the England manager, literally from when he started to when he finished.
He missed that penalty.
Oh, yeah, no,
He was
it
playing
went
for
back.
Crystal Palace then. Did you know that?
I didn't actually. I didn't know he played for Palace until we watched it and you told me. But yes, so it goes back obviously to the 96 penalty that he missed years before he became England manager. But the point of the whole thing is about his time as the England manager. And you might think, not really interested in that. But it's so good. So Joseph Fiennes plays Gareth Southgate. And you forget that it's not Gareth Southgate.
Oh, mannerisms.
The way he chews gum.
Yeah, everything. Absolutely everything was Gareth. I mean, I don't know how long he studied Gareth Southgate for to get that, but he was spot on.
Incredible acting. And the casting of all the footballers as well. The lad who played Jack Grealish had the curtains with the hairband. Saka as well.
Harry Kane,
the voice of Harry Kane.
Right, you've heard this first here. Just having watched this and seeing how intelligent he is, and from a football perspective, he might be intelligent in another way, I don't know. But his footballing brain is immense. And I think one day Harry Kane will be the next England manager. I think he has it in him to do.
Not the next, but an England manager.
An England manager in the future.
Yeah. Jodie Whittaker is also in this. I like Jodie Whittaker.
Love Jodie Whittaker.
She played a woman called Pippa, who we'd never heard of, and we Googled it, and she was an actual person. So very much like The Crown, Dear England is based on real people and real situations and things that happened, but a lot of the conversations are made up. So very similar concept to The Crown. Yeah, there was this woman called Pippa who Gareth Southgate brought in to help the footballers with their mental health, basically, to get them to talk about their feelings and their fears and their worries, which initially they were all a bit like, whoa, what do you mean? I'm fine, nothing wrong, haven't got any fears. But then, she made them all keep journals and write about their feelings, and it ended up helping them all hugely.
Well, especially in the penalties, because England were renowned for losing or going out of major tournaments on penalties.
Yeah, and Gareth Southgate changed the way they took penalties, because when he took that penalty in 96 and missed, he volunteered. They literally were like, so who's going to take this? And he put his hand up, and he changed the way they did it. So it was all planned beforehand in case there was going to be a penalty shootout. This is what was going to happen. This person's going first, this person. So there was no debate.
Decision was taken away from them.
Yeah,
and it was
all planned.
And also they looked at how other countries and how other nations took their penalties and the speed at which they took their penalties. And like England were like twice as fast in taking their penalties, which is why they were missing and stuff. So they slowed it all down as well. Incredible. Really good.
Really fascinating. So yeah, even if you're not a massive football fan or even a massive England fan, to be honest, it's still really, really interesting. Brilliantly done. So can highly recommend that. Dear England.
I was also recommended one to watch about Nadal.
Oh, okay.
There's one about him as well, and that's meant to be very good.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Okay, we'll look that up. Just a couple of interviews I wanted to mention this week that I did on my radio show on Talk Radio Europe. My entrepreneur of the week was a woman called Jo Living, who is the founder of a company called Aces High. And Jo is a very, very competent, more than competent, award-winning, I think, poker player. She told a lovely story. She was on holiday in Morocco many years ago with her boyfriend, and he'd been teaching her how to play poker, only for about 6 months. She didn't feel really confident or anything, but she was learning to play poker. And they were in Morocco on holiday, and he said, right, you should go into this poker tournament. She said, I'm not ready for a poker tournament. Don't be ridiculous. Anyway, he convinced her to go into the poker tournament, and she was the only woman in this tournament in Morocco, and she beat 200 men and won.
That's amazing. I remember the first time I played poker for money, and it was with a group of guys that lived here. I'm not sure if they all still live here now. Paul Seed, do you remember Paul Seed? Paul and Jenny Seed. Well, he had a group of friends and they used to get together regularly to play poker. And I was invited to play once, and they didn't know what to make of me. They didn't know whether I was bluffing or I wasn't bluffing. And I walked away with a whole pot.
Oh, brilliant. I've won as well. We should probably play a bit more then. I played with some guys at Ocean Estates, but we didn't... Did we play
what
for
about
money?
Poker?
I don't think so. Yeah, I did really well the first time I played.
Maybe
we should do it more.
Yeah. We could become millionaires.
We could this time next year, Rodney. So basically what she did, this woman, Jo, is she started to think, all the skills that she and other people that she noticed were using at the poker table, whether they could be skills that were applied in the boardroom and in business. The idea when you're playing poker, how confident you are, how good you are at bluffing, how trusting you are, all these kind of skills. So she's developed this company, Aces High, which basically takes people through a kind of team building poker playing experience where no money is involved. So it's not proper gambling for money, but everyone's taught to play poker. But throughout the experience, Joe kind of stops the situation and says, okay, do you think you were assertive enough there? Do you think that if you were more assertive, then the outcome would have been different? And I said to her, how different are the men and women doing this? Because I wasn't sure initially whether it was just aimed at women. And she said, oh, no, I love doing it for women, but men are more than welcome too. Sometimes it's just a group of men. Sometimes it's mixed, depending on the company. And I said, are men generally more confident and assertive than the women? And she smiled and she said, I was utterly shocked how different in general the men and women were. And she said, undoubtedly, the men are a lot more confident going in and kind of feel like they take over.
We're the hunters, that's why.
But she said what's so amazing about it, the men generally are more confident than the women, but the women traditionally win and beat the men. So it's not all about confidence. And why it's applied so well to business is a lot of the men need to, this is very general, obviously, but the men need to learn to maybe step back a bit and listen to other people and assess the situation before going in like a bull in a china shop. And the women need to be a bit more confident and step up and take control of the room and that kind of thing. So absolutely fascinating.
So do you think women are better at poker because they're better at faking it?
That's a different question. So yes, Joe Living, Aces High, check it out. Andrea McLean, I interviewed her this week. She was the longest host on Loose Women, many, many years. You'll know and love her from the television. She was great. I thought she was brilliant on Loose Women. She hasn't been on Loose Women for a good few years now. Basically, she was doing a blog about women's wellness and things like that. And she decided to put everything into it and make it more of a business for women and wellness and things like that, and selling various products that she really believed in. And her husband ended up stopping what he was doing in order to put everything into the business as well. So it became a real joint venture. But just as they started all this, COVID hit, which cut over 50% of their business overnight, made a huge difference. And also, sadly, Andrea got COVID really quite badly. So she was out of action for a while and they lost everything, basically.
Do you know what? There's so many victims of COVID. You know, we've talked about restaurants closing here, and one that never recovered after COVID really was Benisti, as far as I could see.
Yeah.
So it's affected a lot of businesses and a really awful time for a lot of people. You only really get to hear about it when you've got high profile people that have gone through that situation. But there's millions of other people that went through similar things.
Yeah, absolutely. She's written a book about it. She's had a few successful books before, and this one's called Shameless. And she said because she was in the public eye for so many years, she felt like people were, looking at her. The spotlight was on her, if you like. And she felt like a failure. She felt embarrassed. She felt shame. And the bloody British press. So they've picked up on one of the things that she talks about in the book because she was desperate for money. She needed to get money. She's got children. She applied for a job in Starbucks, among various other things, and she didn't get the job in a Starbucks. And that's what the British press focus on. Andrea McLean couldn't even get a job in Starbucks. And she said it was that word even that really annoyed her, suggesting that people who work in Starbucks are like really low and below everyone else. And bless her, she was saying that's absolutely not the case. When you need money, you'll do whatever you need to do in order to look after yourself and your family. So yeah, amazing woman. She lives in Spain now. Her and her husband have moved to Sotogrande area.
Oh yeah, and another regular visitor to Sotogrande is the podcast that we like, isn't it?
Vogue Williams.
Yeah,
yes,
she's
Vogue
here every year pretty much, I think, with the family.
Yeah, her mum has a place here.
It's not her mum, her aunt, I think.
Oh, her
is.
aunt.
Yes.
Yeah, it's her aunt, you're right. Lovely chatting to Andrea, really, really nice woman. And she's really good friends with Nick Eade, which is how I got the interview, who I've interviewed many, many times. He's involved with the Global Gift Gala. So
Yes,
that was
which
the
is
link.
imminent, isn't it?
It is. It's coming up soon in July. We went to a gala, actually, on Friday night. Before that, though, I just wanted to mention Amber Chew.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you very much. I went on my own on Friday because Dad and Sheila were away on holiday, so it was quite sad. After my Pilates on Friday, I went to Amber Chew and had my normal breakfast, which was delicious, and she came out with the 2 place settings, and I was like, oh no, it's just me today. Dad's not joining me. He's on holiday. And she was like, oh, okay.
Oh, poor you.
Yeah, it was sad, but it was still a delicious breakfast. It was fine. We went to the Collective Calling Gala on Friday night at Cortojo de Cortes, which is El Paraiso way. And our lovely friend Percy, who married us, was the host of the evening. He was the MC.
MC Percy. It's got a ring to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, he was great. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He's an award-winning Toastmaster, isn't he? So
yeah, and he's very sarcastic and very humorous.
yes, he definitely holds the attention of everybody. Really good. And we both wore pink.
We did. Wasn't planned.
No, I had a bright pink dress on, and I put a couple of photos up and got lots of lovely comments, which was really
nice.
nice.
I had a pink blouse on. And
Blouse?
no, I had a pink shirt, and I wore my pink waistcoat from our wedding, and it sort of blended quite well because it's meant to be like a black tie, but with a Spanish twist. So I didn't want to wear a jacket because it was a hot night. So I just thought, oh, shirt and a waistcoat. And
you look lovely. We had some lovely food. They were coming around at the beginning. The Fisherman's daughter were there as one of the sponsors, coming around with oysters.
I love that name. I think it's a great name.
Yeah, it is a great name. And we had an oyster each.
We did. Do like an oyster. I like mine pretty naked. Not eating it naked. I mean, as... which I don't it's worth a try.
I don't think I've ever eaten an oyster naked before. Maybe we're doing it wrong because they are aphrodisiacs. Maybe we should eat them naked.
With a bit of Tabasco, that's what I like.
I had the opposite. So they had 3 different choice of flavours to add to the oyster, and one was passion fruit.
Passion fruit, that was it.
And we had some lovely food. There was great entertainment. Oh, for the main course, I ordered fish and you ordered the steak, but we shared. And I noticed, I could see, because obviously it was dark by the time we had the main course, I could see in a certain light how red the steak was.
It was quite rare.
It was quite rare, and I would never have it rare. But because it was dark, you couldn't really tell. So I just ate it, and it was really nice.
Yeah, we ate under the stars.
But I ate rare steak.
You did. And I think that just goes to show that your palate is different to your sight, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
No, it is. It's a big thing. A lot of people will dismiss food based on what it looks like.
Because of the look, definitely.
There's a few restaurants that they literally blindfold you and serve you food.
I'd love to do that, yeah.
And you don't know what you're eating. And, and they can serve you some really odd things like
offal.
Pig's brain or something like that.
Yeah, well, I wonder how often that would happen, because I would never order offal, but I might quite like it if I didn't know what it was.
If you don't visually see what you're eating, it's quite a different experience. As you found out.
As I found out. Last night we went to see Cirque du Soleil.
I love that.
I've lost count how many we've seen now. We must have seen more than 10 different shows.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
This one was called Kurios, which sounds very Greek. It was basically based on steampunk. Sheila looked it up because there was a lot of brass and cogs and mad scientists and things. And steampunk was basically in the Victorian times how they saw the future. That's kind of the gist of steampunk. And it was fantastic. There was a woman who was absolutely tiny, and I wondered if she was the smallest woman in the world. I looked her up. She wasn't. Her name is the character's name is Minnie Lily. And there were 2 different women who played this role in Kurios. And she is just over 3 feet tall, whereas the world's shortest woman is 2 foot 3/4.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
And she was so
She was
cute.
so small.
I'm sorry, I don't want to belittle that, because by saying cute it just makes her sound like she's not a normal human being. She is. I mean, they're obviously using her in this because it worked. It's not exploitation, for sure. It's just the type of story it was. I'm wondering, was it set in Victorian times or was it set in sort of like the 2030s? Because there's a lot of that type of music. A lot of French music.
If you've never seen a Cirque du Soleil, please do. I cannot recommend it enough. It's really difficult to describe, but it is the best circus you will ever see. The kids will love it, but you don't need to have kids. Adults love it too. And
I saw lots of just couples, adults and families that had no kids. that were all grown
definitely.
Up. So yeah, it doesn't have to be a kids thing at all.
It's breathtaking, the things that these guys do with their bodies, the acrobatics, it's just literally breathtaking.
Yeah, it's mainly acrobatics, but with a story sort of underlying all the way through it. And the difference is that you don't get any animals You do get some people coming around, clowning around, but they're not clowns as such. They just sort of like fill in the gaps and everything. So there's comedy there as well. And you find that a lot of ex-gymnasts, when they finished with the Olympics or competing, actually go and try out and end up in Cirque du Soleil.
You can see why. A couple of events to mention. Age Concern do a Friday book club on the last Friday of every month at 10:30. So if you enjoy reading, then why not go along to their book club? They've got lots of books that you can take to read. And yeah, I'm not sure the format of the book club, but it's basically for people to talk about books and what books they've read and what books they want to read. So yeah, sounds great. That's the last Friday of every month at 10:30 in Age Concern in San Pedro. Something coming up which is right up our street. I need to see in the diary if we can do it. I don't think we can. Cascada, the restaurant Cascada. That's near La Cañada, isn't it?
I've been there
just
long
off
time
that.
ago.
Yeah, I have, long time ago.
Beautiful setting.
It is really beautiful. So on the 17th of June, they have an event called All Stars. One night, 7 chefs from 6 countries, all cooking for you. €85 per person.
That's not bad.
It sounds great, doesn't it?
Sounds amazing. What day is that?
17th of June. I'm not sure what date that falls.
Oh,
but
well, I'm pretty sure if it's June, we can't go.
I know,
there's
we've got so much on June.
Actually, it's just after the wedding, isn't it?
yeah, we're not going to be able to. But it sounds good if you're interested in that, if you like your food. It is Marbella Feria next week, starting from tomorrow, starting from Monday. And it's a bank holiday in Marbella and San Pedro on Thursday.
Yes, and that means that there should be fireworks tomorrow or tonight?
Yeah.
Tonight, maybe. Do they do it
So
the
look
night
after your
before it
pets.
opens? Yes, and then it's normally quite a spectacular fireworks show for the Marbella Feria. And please be aware, if you want to go and see your bank and things like that, that they do tend to shut earlier. So they probably open a little bit earlier during Feria week, but they will shut earlier because they like to go and enjoy the Feria. I know, only in
Welcome
Spain.
to Spain. I saw an article this week. I have to confess, sometimes they have grabbing headlines, and then when you read the article, it's not as exciting or as interesting in the headline. Clickbait, they call it, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I have to say, I quite liked the headline to this, and I didn't look into it further. I decided the headline was all the information I needed. Struggling with hay fever, drinking gin and tonic can reportedly ease symptoms.
Probably because you're comatose and you don't breathe.
Well, you have issues with hay fever, drink more gin and tonic. There you go. It's Dr. Hannah speaking.
Thank you. I'll get liver problems, but that's okay. I won't have hay fever.
Yes, exactly. We can't have everything. Toledo, which is where we're going next week
Or
for
Toledo.
a wedding. Toledo.
I would say Toledo.
Toledo. Yeah, you're right. I saw this was a post from Good Morning Spain. Is the historic birthplace of marzipan in Spain.
I like marzipan.
Me too.
I like Christmas cake.
Yeah, absolutely. The production of marzipan is a culinary art form that has been...
Well done. You said that without stumbling over the word.
Thank you very much. Since the Middle Ages. So basically what I'm saying is when we're in Toledo, we need to get some marzipan.
I don't have any problem with that.
Okay.
There's also lots of swords in Toledo.
Yeah, I don't want a sword, really.
It's got a very big medieval sort of history, hasn't it?
Should we get a sword to cut the marzipan?
Yes.
Okay. Last week we talked about the number 555 from a weird coincidental point of me doing an invoice that was number 555. Then you did the lottery using all the fives, and then I bought you some olive oil that the brand was 555, which was an incredible coincidence. And a couple of days later, my friend Nikki, who goes under the name Lady B with her tarot cards, she put a post up with the number 555 saying, "Trust the changes are unfolding for your highest good."
So I've taken this to heart because I think that is more than just a sign.
Yeah, unbelievable.
We haven't earned lots of money yet.
No.
So
Not sure what the
why?
sign is.
Yeah.
Well, what does that actually mean? Trust the changes are unfolding for your highest good. What is my highest good?
Me.
Yay. Let's do an
A bit
update.
more enthusiastic.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm sorry I haven't had more money either. Yay to creme anglaise.
That's it.
Okay.
Trust in my ability to make you nice food.
Do we? Oh, I do. Do we have a red wine gate update?
We do. So, as you know, Hannah threw red wine over me at a recent event and ruined a brand new shirt that I had that I'd bought for the wedding.
Not that he's bitter.
Not that I'm bitter at all, no. Anyway, after she'd bleached it in certain places, so it was unwearable. we bought some dye, which was like a nice tangerine orange colour, similar to the colour of the shirt anyway. So followed all the instructions, put it in. I actually got orange hands. It was that bad. You know, it was really, really strong dye. It dyed everything apart from the shirt.
The bleach bit was still there, which we couldn't believe.
So what I did is I rubbed some of this dye, which was powder, into the bleach areas and left it on top. It actually did dye the bleached areas, but they're still a little bit lighter than the rest of the shirt. So I'm going to have to do it again. And I think what we've decided is that even now, it is probably wearable if somebody doesn't really know what happened to it. And if you wore it out to a dinner or something, you can't really see those areas. But it's not wedding perfect.
No, but we're going to give it one more try and see if we can do something to make it better.
Yes, but I won't be wearing it to the wedding, which means I need to buy a new top.
You've got plenty of other shirts you could wear.
What would you do?
Wear another shirt.
You would you? You've already bought like 3. You're already buying earrings and necklaces and doing everything to coordinate.
Yeah, not for much money though. I haven't spent a lot at all. You bought shoes. Oh, mind you, so did I. Anyway. Euro Weekly News, our collaborators, the Euro Weekly News, a couple of articles to mention from that. There's an age concern lunch coming up at La Sala next Thursday, the 11th of June, which looks really good. We love La Sala, always a great place to go for food. So if you want to go to this lunch, just email lunches@ageconcernmarbella.com.
Actually, talking of La Sala, I did notice on a post that somebody put up, and it's going to sound really odd now because I can't remember who put the post up, and I can't remember the name of the company, so you'll have to do a bit of research. But there's going to be, at the clubhouse, there's a makeup artist going to be teaching people how to do makeup, and I think you get a little sort of goodie bag with it.
I saw that. I quite fancied that.
Oh, no. I think it was sold out. I'm sure it said it was sold out.
Okay.
No, it probably isn't sold out, but it just sounded interesting. I sort of think that's quite good when things like that happen. And I think it's quite entrepreneurial of the businesses to do things like that and involve another business.
Absolutely. Well, they had an event last week at the clubhouse, which was the one that I was going to go to, all about social media and stuff. So they're doing lots of little events.
That's very good.
Yeah. This is an article that isn't connected to Spain whatsoever, but it was in the Euro Weekly News and it made me chuckle. Flixbus, Flix, has revived Poland's controversial 666 bus route to hell after years of religious backlash. Hell is spelled Hel. It's an area in Poland. So there's a bus route that goes from Krakow to hell, and it's number 666.
That's brilliant. Maybe that's what the 555 are trying to indicate, that we should really be 666.
Oh, don't. Well, the beginning of my mobile phone number, as you know, is 666. So whenever I give it to people, people go, oh, the devil. But there's a fourth 6. So it's actually 6666. So I decided that the fourth 6 counteracts the 3 6s.
If you say so.
Yeah. So yeah, how cool is that? You can get a bus to hell in Poland and it's number 666. So lots of religious groups have been saying, oh, it's, it's not good because it's
not really
advocating
hell, is
the
it?
devil.
I mean, the place might be called hell, but it's not.
But it's a
hell.
brilliant coincidence.
Isn't it?
Yes. And something to mention, the €2 cinema tickets are back for the over 65s on Tuesdays, running from July until June next year. So a whole year. So if you're over 65 and you are a resident of Spain, that's really important. If you're a tourist, I'm afraid it doesn't apply. If you're a resident of Spain and can prove you are, then just check out your local cinemas, because not all of them do, but a lot of them do have €2 cinema tickets for the over 65s on Tuesdays. And because we are very much approaching summer, Mercadona is going to be open Mercadona is going to be open on Sundays from the 22nd of June to the 30th of August. So still a couple of weeks to go.
I like it. I like it when they're open because I always find it difficult to cram in food shopping during the week.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Just gives us that extra time. I did notice, actually, I think maybe because of the feria, that El Corte Inglés is open today.
Oh, wow.
Which won't help anybody on the podcast because that's obviously would have been and gone. I've got a moan.
Oh, really?
Yes. Toll roads.
Oh, yeah.
So they've put up the prices for summer and you think, yeah, okay, it's gone up 50 cents or whatever. 66% they have gone up.
That is criminal.
It is criminal because, as we know, at this area of the Costa del Sol, so if you're anywhere San Pedro-ish, and Marbella, and you're going further up the coast. So if you're going even to the airport, for example, and there's an accident on the main N340, if you don't use the toll road, then your only alternative is the toll road. But that also joins up with the N340 on two places. It does by La Cañada, obviously that whole stretch is the combination of the AP7 and the A7. And then when you get past Fuengirola, you rejoin it, and it's also the AP7 and the A7. So you don't get a direct route all the way to the airport on the toll road. It's just not on because we don't have any other transport links. So you are stuck with the road. There's no way round either. There was somebody at work last week that there was an accident and she got an alert saying it's going to take over an hour and a half to get to Calahonda. So we were looking at the map and just saying, there is no alternative. If you're in San Pedro, you have to go through Marbella. You could have then gone up the Ojen Road and into Coín and then down again, but there is absolutely no other route from there. So you are stuck. And this is a big moan of Ángela Muñoz, the mayor of Marbella, because she's outraged by this as well, because they've got no investment in the infrastructure here. They haven't done anything. They haven't put a train in. They haven't put a tram in. They haven't put any underground in. There's no other alternative. And this comes back to my entrepreneurial idea. Why don't we have water taxis?
Do you know, the day after you'd said that and we'd spoken about it, I went into work and it was a Tuesday when Giles had done Viewpoint, and that was one of the things they talked about last week. Yeah, it was really bizarre that they were talking about how much better and easier it would be if there were like water taxis.
So in London, obviously on the Thames, you have water taxis. It's a thing. You can get on and you can go to certain places and they have certain stops. When I used to go to the south of France and stay in Saint-Maxime, which is, so it's a bay that goes all the way around to Saint-Tropez. If you're driving, it would always get chock-a-block in the summer, so it could take you an hour to get to Saint-Tropez. Or you could get, and then like little boats, that take about 4 or 5 people, and they just regularly going back. It's called Bateau Vert or Bateau Bleu. And they literally just took you backwards and forwards between Saint-Maxime and Saint-Tropez. So it was a water taxi, basically. And it was not very expensive. And you were guaranteed to get there because you don't get stuck in the water. So I think it's a massive thing that they should look at, even if you can only do it port to port, because obviously you need somewhere to stop. Even if you did Port de Banús, for example, to Cabapino, or Cabapino then on to Fuengirola. So you had various stops. So it might not be ideal to get to absolute places, but it can take you a lot further up the coast.
It is a good idea. Make it happen. Well, if there are any investors out there.
Yes, it's my idea. So have a chat. Let's get it going.
No one's ever thought of it before. Okay. Hope you have a good week ahead. We're off to Lark in the Park.
Yes, and I'm just looking at the cat because obviously the cat's still on the bed because we're doing our podcast on the bed, and she's upside down showing us her belly. Bless her.
Which means trust. It is goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from her.